So my story is, my wife and I have recently been on a low-carb diet. If any of you have done that as well, it's awful. Basically, a low-carb diet is you take delicious food and you don't eat it. Like bread, rice, sugars, all that stuff just goes aside because, you know, I guess it's bad for you.
What?
So, yeah, bread, rice, sugar, none of that. So, I've been on this for about a week, been good, hadn't cheated yet, but then had a terrible day at work, was in an awful mood, and then after that I was going to need to take care of a grumpy teething baby and a sassy toddler. So I was like, okay, I'm going to need to cheat on this. I reasoned with myself, you know, I need the energy from this food and the emotional friction of denying myself something delicious and, you know, the bad day and then taking care of the kids. It was not going to be for the kids, right? So I was like, nah, I'm going to eat this food. I have to do this. So I open our pantry. I go to where we hid the last loaf of Dunford sweet wheat bread, pull out the last 2 slices and just smell it. You just smell the wheat and the yeast and the sugar just like funneling into your mouth. If you ever want bread to taste delicious again, just stop eating it for a little while. It's so good. Food you're not allowed to have is amazing. So I pop those 2 pieces of Dunford sweet wheat bread into the toaster and let it cook. And just then I get a text from my accountability partner, who is also my wife. And she's like, hey, I know you had a bad day at work. How are you doing? How's the diet going? And I'm not one to lie, so I just texted her a meme of like, have you ever wondered what the numbers on a toaster mean? That, if any of you have seen that one, it's like, is it degrees of toastiness or minutes? And so I sent that, and I closed my phone because I wasn't ready to get the backlash from breaking the diet, right? And I started actually wondering whether my toaster was the minutes or the toastiness one, because it was kind of an older toaster, and I'd heard that, you know, the older ones might have been more degrees, but the newer ones were minutes. And I'd been wondering this for so long, and I realized my toast hadn't popped yet. But I could smell it. It smelled like it was ready, so I look over and I was like, I think it's been about time. So I hit the cancel button, hoping to get my toast still saved, and it didn't work. So I hit the button exactly 57 more times, like every sane person would do, making sure, like, did that not work? No, it didn't work. So I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna lose my toast. So I grabbed a little lever and I tried to like get the toast out that way by jiggling it up and down really hard. That didn't work. So I was like, okay, I unplug it. I grab some tongs from my other drawer and I just stick the tongs in there and try to yank the toast out myself. The tongs get stuck in the little wire frames that hold the toast in, so I'm just bouncing the toaster. Scratches the new counter. I'm just gonna be so mad. But I still am not getting my toast, so I just... I don't learn very quickly if you haven't picked that up. So that didn't work, and then all of a sudden there's smoke coming out of the toaster, which funnels right up to the smoke detectors. And we hear bam, bam, bam. And then I hear upstairs some crying. I'm like, oh, great. Now the kids are awake, the smoke detector's going off, and I still don't have my toast. So I grab the toaster, which has flames and smoke just billowing out the top, and I hold it upside down and just shake it, trying to get the toaster out. Instead, I just get smoke and charcoal toast just right in my face and my eyes, and it's burning. My little kid comes down the stairs, and what she sees is a man holding a box of fire with a blackened face and red eyes and this angry look going, no! She says, Daddy, that's why Mommy makes the toast. Quiet, kid. But there's so much smoke and the smoke detector's still going off. I'm like, oh no, now I'm gonna kill my kid, like suffocating from smoke. So I need to get the toaster out. I go over to the window, the little sliding glass door that goes over our balcony, yank it open, and without thinking, just hurl this flaming hot toaster onto the dry, grassy field in my backyard, where Timmy and his 3-legged puppy were playing. Now luckily, no fire, and nobody got hurt. Except Timmy and the puppy. So the toaster, bam, smashes them both right in the face. He was holding his doggy like this. Took them both out. I look down, Timmy's passed out on the ground, breathing, so we're fine. Puppy, I don't know. And then worst of all, the toast was still inside the toaster. Even after like a big cranial impact, the thing was still held together. I couldn't believe it. It was ridiculous. I figured, all right, well, the toast isn't going anywhere, but I had to take care of Timmy real quick. So I grabbed the little red wagon from our garage, grabbed Timmy's limp body and just kind of put it in there and drag it across the bumpy field so I could get to the sidewalk. The body's just in the back. Start going down the hill towards his parents' house, see some neighbors, and what they see is me, wagon, Timmy, like arm dragging against the sidewalk. And I'm like, oh, this looks bad. I was like, I gotta defuse this. They probably think I'm some abusive parent. So I'm like, hey, don't worry, it's not my kid. I don't do this to my kids. Figured that did it. So I get to Timmy's house, ring the doorbell, mom's not there, and I'm like, my smoke detector's still going off, my kids are in there, I left the door open, I gotta go. So I did what anyone does who bangs someone's car or kid, and I left a note. So got a little sticky note, wrote, hit kid with toaster. Still didn't get the toast. Laughy face, smiley face. And then I left my wife's phone number just for in case she needed to call somebody. Stick the note on the kid, head back up to my house. Get there, get rid of the smoke alarm. The smoke's out, went through the windows, we're fine. And then I look over the balcony, see the toaster, and it pops the toaster into the neighbor's compost bin. Breaking the diet was too hard. I texted my wife, I saw the message she sent, she's like, you're not breaking your diet, are you, after viewing my toaster meme? I said, no, I've been strong.